In today's video, we're going to go back over the coaching adjustments in Madden 24 for people that are newer to the game and want to learn what to call, when to call things, and just give you guys an idea of why we make some of these adjustments. Before we get into it, drop a like on the video, subscribe, become members. Full scheme breakdowns are in the members area. We have Big Nickel, the Dollar Defense, Wild Trips, Pats, Gun Bunch. So much stuff in there, man, that you need to succeed because it's important. All right, if you want to win, go on high win streaks like us, you have to learn it. All right, so as far as coaching adjustments, man, your auto flip defensive play call. Now, I may not go over all of them. I may just stick to a couple and just make like a couple videos. But your auto flip defensive play call is going to be one that if you're newer to Madden, you're going to want to leave this on, specifically because a lot of new players, they want to run cover 3 defense. So let me show you guys something really quick in cover 3. Let's assume, well, let's leave it on, okay? Let's leave it on, and let's go ahead and pick a cover 3 right here, okay? So cover 3, 3-4 odd, then we come across someone running, let's say, is there trips on here? You know what, yeah, let's do a slot here, and then we'll pick PA scissors flood. Okay, so you notice on defense, this guy's not, they're not in a base format, but auto flip is on. So what's going to happen with auto flip is that this guy right here will align himself to the side of where all the receivers are on the left side. So you'll see that you have 2 wide receivers on the left side. This guy will typically be in this area, okay? Now, this is just to throw off maybe a post. Not necessarily, unless your safety's pretty good, maybe a seam route. You know what I'm saying? But let me show you what happens whenever you turn it off, okay? Because I think that's important as well. Let's just say we leave auto alignment. We turn this off, and then let's just pick another cover 3, okay? Let's go with, I guess we can go dime 2-3, and then let's go into shotgun. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run tray Y flex, and then we're going to go ahead and run verticals flipped. Now verticals is going to be something good. This guy actually aligns still properly, but what's going to happen sometimes is your cover 3 is going to be, actually, you know what it is, right? Show you guys. This is another coaching adjustment that you have to pay attention to. So a lot of people that are better at the game, right, that have experience, they'll set this to base and they'll turn auto flip off. This is what I do because I already know how it works. But let me, and the reason we do this is because we'll run defenses. See if we can find this over here. Actually, you know what? No, it's not going to work that way because we don't have dollar. We run dollar or something like that, and it just works tremendously. But let's say we're running cover 3 sky, and then we run, the opponent runs verticals flipped, okay? Say, this is what I'm talking about. So when you run base align, right, and then you turn auto flip off, well, now look. You see this guy's out of position. He's not on the right side. So in your defensive adjustments, you will have to make those adjustments. So typically what I'll do, if I see this, I'll go ahead and man up the Y route with my hook curl, okay? Because he's the seam route. And then what I'll do is I will either play the hard flat, right? Press to try to force that outside third on my left side. In case that tight end goes on a corner, right? He can play that tight end route, and then I'll have a hard flat in case the tight end goes on a flat route or the running back goes on the table route. And leave it up to this. And what I will do with my user is, depending on how you're playing, if you're the type that likes to engage the 1v1s, you'll just jump the route that's over here on the inside. So the inside right wide receiver will be you. And then you'll see right there, he still got over us, but you'll see that he was manned up, and that's the idea. Now, there are better scenarios and situations. You can actually flip the defense right yourself, shade underneath, man up Y, and now you have the inside third in a position, proper position, to make a play. And we can play hard flats, and we can still press. And if you can back off the right side, you can do that as well. But let's just see how it plays out here. I still want to watch this guy right here. Nowhere to go for him now. You see how we're in perfect position, because had we left auto flip on, that cover 3 is going to align properly, okay? So let's try to pick the same play and turn auto flip on so you guys can see why it's very important. Because I think a lot of people, and we'll leave this back on default, but we'll turn this on. And then we'll pick cover 3 sky again, and then we'll come back and flip verticals one more time. Now let's see what happens. Now he's in position where he's not over here on the left side. Now he's in the right position. And when you get better at moving your players, you can actually move this guy down, and you can set up your defense according to what it is. Now, remember, you're not on a vertical hook, you're on a hook curl, which means that a lot of these routes can still get open. All right, so like if someone really can throw a tight window, they'll be able to throw versus your verticals right there. You see what I'm saying? So remember that it's not necessarily just because you have that inside third on the right side that he's going to actually stop that. You put him in better position. So what I would, like I said, what I would recommend you do is always manning up in that cover 3 when you face a trips formation like this, where there's 3 wide receivers and then you shade underneath. And this is why I run a lot of baseline. The reason I run a lot of baseline is because you see my safeties or corners going to the left side. So if that tight end tries to go on the corner out by himself, there's no clear out there, then they'll be able to make a play on the left side. And then all I really got to worry about is the middle of the field. So right here, this way, that could be mine. Ah, what a good catch, what a good throw. But you guys get it. And obviously what you're going to be doing is substituting the linebackers for safeties in those positions. If you've been paying attention to my channel, you already know we're not using these slow guys, okay? But this is going to be one of your base setups in cover 3 using the coaching adjustment, because I think it's one of the more important ones. So we still man him up, but he got knocked off the edge, and that happens. But like I said, we're using safeties and these guys, putting these guys in better position right here. You don't necessarily need the baseline, but you want to make sure that he is in position to make a play. Like I said, I usually play the line, then I'll come up, but boom, right there. The AI knows to throw that dot, but most people aren't going to throw it when they see that coverage, okay? And if you really get bothered, you can just put them up here like this, okay? And then press. Pass commit if you know it's a pass commit. And this is how the auto flip, this is how to utilize it. Now, like I said, the way we do it, he has nowhere to go. The way we do it is we run a lot of blitzes. So when you're running a lot of blitzes, these coaching adjustments become, you have to really be, not really advanced, but you have to know how to set your defenses up properly and see where they struggle, because I'll run off in base. As far as the cornerback matchups right here, set by speed. If you're running man defense, right? If you're running in the red zone, I would put height, because people will try to high ball you, so you can run cornerback matchups in the red zone by height. And then by route running, not really, I don't really use it, because abilities trump this anyway. So you might as well just have the speed out there, man, honestly. You know what I'm saying? And if you're playing Ultimate Team, you probably have the best people in all the positions by now, I would imagine. And then option defense, if the quarterback runs one time, I'll give it to him one time. If he does an option, the quarterback keeps it. Once I see that, I turn this to conservative and I leave it there. Because the power of your defense is going to, the power of your defense will in itself slow down a lot of the run game. Meaning like the big nickel, the cover 4 quarters with the run fits, cover 2 with the outside run fits will actually help you. So once I see a quarterback keep the ball like a Lamar Jackson, I just put it on conservative and I leave it there. And then I rely on the rest of my game. If you're playing regs, you can even use the strategy to stop the run, as well as put this on conservative. Okay. Now, as far as strip ball, you need to turn over aggressive, but that's only when you need it. Other than that, it stays unbalanced. All right. And in tackling the same way. Okay. I typically just leave it on balance, unless you're facing like someone who's really putting in work, then put it on conservative. But that's these adjustments so far. What I'm going to do is I'll make another video. We'll just break this down in parts so you guys can understand it. But I wanted you guys to understand how the auto flip works, especially within plays like cover 3 and base. And before we get off, let me just show you guys base and man defense. Okay. In man defense, let's say we run cover 1 robber and then they pick halfback option. Your defense is always going to stay in base, meaning they're not aligned properly in man. So remember that about base. Okay. I probably should have went a little bit more in depth, but base is going to cook you if you're not careful. So what we want to do is, we want to set this to default. Now, I don't really use man, so use it if you want. But if I leave this on default, and then I pick cover 1, and then we pick the same play, now these guys are lined up properly in front of their man assignments. Now, the drawback to that is your opponent will be able to tell that it's man defense if he's smart enough and he's more advanced in the game. This is why a lot of times I'll run man defense even in base. Where I run DB strikeout a quarter, I run it in base because I don't want my opponent to know if I'm running man or zone. Right? I like to throw them off. Enough for it allows a blitz to come in, right? By the time he realizes, oh, it's man, you know, a couple seconds, all I need. That's all I need. But that's that, man. I hope you try to understand, like if you're newer to man, understand what I'm talking about and why we make these certain decisions, man. And I'll continue and I'll talk about more of the adjustments here in the next couple of videos. Drop a like. Love you guys, man. Peace.